So what is flexion, extension, and how can it affect the club face in swing? Let me show you. So what we tend to see with the great players as they start down, they start to flex that lead wrist in transition. Then we see this element of ulnar deviation going, and then we see that supination there through the hitting area, that rotation there of the lead arm. And now to do this, everything has to be coordinated with the body. This is how the great players control the club face really, really well. What we tend to see from the club golfers as they start down, the first move from here tends to be a little bit of a throw or a deviate. They deviate on the way down here. Then they start to supinate. And now all of a sudden, this thing's going quite left. Then when they get to impact position, everything then extends. And that version there of extending there, as you can see, is actually adding loads of loft to my golf club. So if I flex the lead wrist, loft goes down, face starts pointing left. If I extend that lead wrist, loft goes up, face starts pointing to the right. So typical club golfers, what we tend to see, they're too much extended when they get to the point of impact, which affects ground contact, launch, you name it. And typical tour pros, what we see, they get flexed this away, shaft appropriately, and control it with the body. So what I'm going to do today, with the aid of this fantastic training aid here called Hackmotion, which I've been using now for around about 18 months, I'm going to put myself to the test. We're going to see exactly what happens with my wrist when I hit the golf shots. So first thing I'm going to do, put it on just like I would here with a watch. I'm going to put it just a little bit higher than where I'd normally wear my watch strap. Going to make it nice and tight so it doesn't move around without stopping the blood circulating. I'm going to put on my glove. And now from here, I like to use, you can actually just clip this onto the glove, but I actually like to use the strap here, which just goes around my knuckles. So you notice there, the sensor is well and truly in place here, so it just sits right on top of the badge of my glove. What I'm going to do now, I need to calibrate the sensor, so come and join me with this. So here I am on my Hackmotion, straight-handed, start calibration, like so easy this. So I'm just going to create a fist, raise my arm up, calibration already set. Have a little bit of a wiggle there. Flex is down, extend is up, or bowed is down, same as flex. Cupped is up. I want to find 0, trying to get nice and flat right there. And start practicing. So I'm going to go with I'm going to pick my club, give it a go. Simple as that. Right, I'm good to go. I've always been a wrist extended player, so I get the club face quite open, and I have to really, really close it rapidly through the hitting area. So I used to have to play a lot of golf to play a lot of good golf. Now, if this little invention was out years ago and I had this full education of how the wrists influence the club face, then life may have been an awful lot different. To talk about the back of the left hand being the club face, and this is what we need to keep square to that target at that point of impact. So if I get to 0 wrist, oh, that just feels hideous. A few shots, TrackMan is running, just going to hit a couple of shots away now. This, good strike. So my face there was 3 degrees closed. If I look at the actual data there, I was actually quite good. So I'm going to go back to that in just a moment. Oh, I felt that close a little. Yeah, so a slight overdraw. That's my bad one. See if I can just hold that face open a little. I think I may have overcooked that a little. Yeah, so it's good that I've actually made the change. Okay, everything's gone green there, so that's a great sign there. So for me, then I had to really feel like I was holding that face open. Now for me to hold, that was a good one. Hit my start line. Yes, straight shot. So what I'm actually seeing here, I was hoping Hackmotion wouldn't pick this up. So Hackmotion's actually telling me here that I'm casting that golf club a little bit. I've always had that tendency to get a little bit wide here in the downswing. Ugh. Okay, one more shot, and then we're going to dive in. I wasn't casting then. So 44 degrees would be my wrist angle at setup position. If we go the averages, if I reduce that from 44 degrees to 26 degrees, so it starts to flatten very, very early in the golf swing. When I get to the top of the backswing, I actually add a little bit more extension when I get to the top of the backswing. Now, as I start to extend here, top of the backswing, as I extend the lead wrist, remember, that opens the club face. So I need then at some point in my downswing to then close the golf club. So what I've learned from this exercise here, I need to really focus on that second phase in my backswing rather than extending or cupping my lead wrist a little to get to the top of the backswing, which then causes me to react by flexing and throwing on the way down. I just need to get that feeling now. I get a little bit more flexed as I complete my backswing here, and then keeping it in that position for that little bit longer as I start down, which in turn is going to stop me from casting the golf club. When you cast the golf club, what it does, it loses you speed, but it also brings that ground contact into play a little bit early, and your ball striking can become quite unpredictable. And yes, I am guilty of that. So everybody reacts differently. So I don't want you to think that everyone's got to copy a Tommy Fleetwood pattern. If you extend that lead wrist, the chances are you're extending that lead wrist because you're trying to square the club face. And you do need that extension to try and hit your golf ball in that given direction. Hackmotion is a wonderful tool. It's becoming very, very user-friendly. Lots and lots of my students are using this both in person and online. And my role there as a coach would be really to challenge a student and interpret the data for them, and also linking the data here to what we're seeing in the movement patterns of the golf swing. So used in the right way, Hackmotion can definitely 1000% help your golf game. So I really do hope that you enjoyed the flexion, extension, Hackmotion fix. Now, if you do like this video, please make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please make sure you share this with a friend who could really do with this to help their golf game. Happy golfing, and I look forward to bringing you amazing content like this really soon.